Hey, welcome back. Today, we're jumping into a really big topic, the ethical frontier of modern medicine. It's wild, right? We're living in an age that feels full of miracles, but every new power we get just seems to open up a whole new can of worms, a new set of questions we absolutely have to answer. So let's dive in. The promise of all this new medical tech is just breathtaking. We're talking about things like stem cell cultivation. This isn't science fiction anymore. It's offering real, tangible hope for diseases like Parkinson's or diabetes, things that were once basically a life sentence. This is the amazing part, It's why we keep pushing forward. But all this power comes with a ton of responsibility. And yeah, that's really the core of it, isn't it? This isn't just about some new gadgets or pills. We're talking about technologies that get to the very definition of what it means to be alive, what privacy is, what fairness is. So, who gets to draw the line? And how do we even start? Okay, let's start with something that probably feels familiar to most of us, the way our health has gone digital. On the surface, it seems pretty straightforward, but the ethics behind it, well, that's a whole other story. So, let's talk about electronic health records, or EHRs. The goal here is fantastic, right? Instant, secure access to your entire medical history for any doctor who needs it. In theory, this should make everything faster, safer, more efficient. But what's really happening behind the screen? This image of an iceberg is just perfect because the convenient stuff we see is just the tip. Underneath the surface, that's where the real challenges are hiding. You've got privacy. Who else is looking at your data? Then there's accountability. What if that data is just flat out wrong? And you get into these even trickier issues, like how do you manage data that crosses borders? Are those health apps on our phones watching more than just our steps? And something you probably never even thought of, the huge environmental cost of storing all this digital information. So it all boils down to this fundamental trade-off. We're shooting for this seamless, data-driven, super efficient system. But what are we risking in the process? We could lose something absolutely vital, that personal, human connection between a doctor and a patient, where care becomes more than just a bunch of data points on a screen. Now let's take this to the next level, moving from the data itself to the algorithms that actually use it. We build this incredible artificial intelligence to help us, but what happens when our own human biases get baked right into the code? And believe me, this isn't just a theoretical problem, this is real. Take the pulse oximeter, that little clip they put on your finger in the hospital to measure your blood oxygen. Well, studies have shown it can actually miss dangerously low oxygen levels in patients with darker skin, up to 3 times more often than in white patients. That's a bias in the technology that's creating real-world, life-and-death health disparities. And this shows you exactly how it happens. It all starts with skewed data. If you train an AI mostly on information from one group of people, it's just not going to work as well for everyone else. Then, the algorithm takes those biases and actually amplifies them, which leads directly to worse health outcomes for certain groups. It's a really vicious cycle. Now, think about this. We're seeing more and more AI therapy bots for mental health. But who's on the hook if that bot gives someone really dangerous advice? Is it the developer? The person using it? The machine itself? The lines of who's responsible get incredibly blurry. Fast. And this quote just nails the heart of the danger here. A machine is great at processing data, but it can't exercise judgment. It has no concept of context, or empathy, or compassion. So when we start delegating these critical human decisions to a machine, we're not just offloading a task, we're risking taking our own humanity right out of the equation. Which brings us to our next section, and believe me, the stakes are about to get even higher. We're going from just reading data to literally rewriting the source code of life itself. We're talking about human germline editing. This means making changes to our DNA that can be passed down for generations. Now, using this to correct a truly devastating genetic disease like Huntington's, well, that feels like a clear win. But what about using it to improve a healthy person? To enhance intelligence or make them a better athlete or change how they look? That just opens a total Pandora's box. It brings up this terrifying possibility of a genetic divide, creating a whole new kind of inequality that's written directly into our DNA. And as you can see here, the ethical challenges are totally unique to each technology. For genome editing, we're wrestling with fundamental human rights and what it even means to be human. When we're talking about releasing engineered mosquitoes to fight malaria, we're facing massive, unpredictable ecological risks. And with those AI therapy bots we mentioned, the dangers may be more subtle, but it's just as real, the potential for emotional manipulation. Okay, so this all sounds pretty heavy, I know. But the good news is, people are already working on solutions. There is a way forward, a path to building technology that is more ethical. The real key is to be proactive about this stuff, not just reacting after the fact. That means building ethics into the design process from the very beginning. It means we have to focus on how technology can promote equity, not just how it can be efficient. And crucially, it means always keeping a human in the loop for the big decisions, and designing systems that always respect a person's freedom and choice. So this path forward really requires all of us. We need to have big public conversations about what we actually want from our technology. It's going to demand stronger rules and clearer guidelines. And maybe the most important thing of all, we have to train the next generation of innovators not just to ask, can we build this, but to always ask, should we? At the end of the day, that's all technology is. It's a tool. It's an amplifier for our intentions, for our values. It has the power to heal us and to harm us, to bring us together and to tear us apart. So the final question really isn't about what the technology can do. It's about what we as a society are going to choose to do with it.